Renaissance Cameraman back in effect. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, if y'all new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to be alerted when these videos drop. Now, as you guys should know, Valentine's Day is coming up, and this holiday is really built to test your love for one another. Alright? So all you couples out there, you got your significant other on the other side here. I'm sure you're watching this because you want to impress that person. Alright? Now, I have 100% good intentions on helping you guys impress your significant other, but we gotta squash a few things, all right? Any day that's directed toward the Valentine's Day, anniversaries, any type of date night scenario that you set up is supposed to be from the heart, okay? 100% from the heart, spontaneous, thoughtful, you know, all that stuff, man. So I'm gonna address this right now, all right? All of my jarred Alfredo makers, okay? I love y'all, but we're not doing that this year, okay? This is not the year to go into the grocery store, pick you out a nice quality jar of Alfredo sauce, go to the frozen food section, get you a bag of frozen, already cooked shrimp and cook them some more just to get them nice and rubbery. Throw them in some overcooked pasta and serve them to your significant other. We're not doing that this year, all right? We're being spontaneous, we're being thoughtful, we're taking our time when it comes to impressing our significant other, all right? So, with that being said, I'm going to share with y'all a very, very simple, entree for Valentine's Day, all right? We're gonna be making a beautiful, beautiful seared ribeye steak with a nice lobster tail on top of it, with some creamy mashed potatoes and some asparagus, all right? Warning, asparagus have a lot of vitamin E in it, okay? Vitamin E stimulates oxygen and blood flow to the genitals, okay? So, if you're trying to, have a spicier night, I wouldn't be ashamed of eating a lot of these asparagus, all right? So, eat a lot of asparagus, put the peels away, we're gonna keep it all natural. With that being said, let's get started.
Alright guys, to kick this thing off, we're going to start off by peeling our potatoes. Alright, right here I have some large russet potatoes, and we're just going to peel those bad boys. If you don't have a potato peeler, you can use a knife. I didn't have a potato peeler, so I used a knife. Alright, we're going to cut those in half, cut them in quarters, and cut them in nice even chunks. And then we're going to get us some water, salt it down real good, and then we're going to throw our potatoes in there. Alright, so we're going to let those bad boys cook for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're nice and tender. But in the meantime, we're going to work on our steaks. Alright, so generously, we're going to go in with some salt, we're going to go in with some ground black pepper, and then we're going to go in with some onion powder, all right? We're going to keep those seasonings as simple as possible, but be generous, all right? Because it's a thick slab of meat, and we want some flavor in there, okay? So next, we're going to go in with some olive oil. This olive oil is just going to help, spread those seasonings evenly on this steak, all right? So just take your hands and rub it into it. Make sure you incorporate it real good into that steak. We're going to kind of use that to form a crust as well as bury those seasonings inside that flesh, all right? So next we're going to take some nice cold water lobster tails and we're going to split them down the middle, all right? Next we're going to take our finger and kind of use that finger to release that meat from that shell, all right? We're going to pry that meat out of that shell and then we're going to kind of lay it over the top of that shell, all right? Make sure you clean your lobster. That right there is the vent or where the poop goes. You want to get that out of there, all right? That's not pleasant to eat at all, okay? So after you get your lobsters, pulled out of that shell and laid across, we're gonna season, all right? So we're gonna take some Old Bay. Next, we're gonna go in with some of that garlic salt, and we're gonna go in with some lemon pepper, all right? That lemon pepper is gonna give this a nice pop, and that's what we want, okay? Next, we're gonna hit this with some paprika. That's gonna give us another depth of flavor. Then we're gonna hit it with some of those parsley flakes, all right? That's gonna give us a good pop of color and make this appealing to the eye, all right? So now we're gonna take some of this olive oil here and we're going to use that to spread the seasonings around, kind of like we did with the steak, all right? Just pour a little bit on there, take your hands, rub that seasoning all around that lobster tail, all right? We're gonna get these bad boys ready to go in the oven, but prior to that, we wanna make our garlic butter, all right? Just garlic, salt, butter, and parsley flakes, all right? We're gonna get these bad boys in the oven at 375 for about 10 to 12 minutes until that shell turns red and the meat stiffens up, okay? So, now we're ready for our steaks, all right? So to a nice cast iron pan, we're gonna take some olive oil and add it to a hot skillet, all right? Make sure it's smoking hot, and we're gonna put our steaks in, all right? We wanna make sure we get full contact on that pan. That way we get a beautiful sear, all right? So we're gonna cook those for about 2 minutes on each side, 2.5 minutes, depending on, you know, how hot your pan is, and we're gonna flip them over, all right? After we get them flipped over, this is when we add in our butter and our aromats, all right? So right here I got some Kerrygold garlic and herb butter. You can use this if she's been extra good to you this year, or you can just give her regular butter if she's just been, you know, so-so. All right, so we're gonna take that, we're gonna add in some fresh thyme. You can use rosemary or thyme, and then we're gonna add in a few cloves of garlic, and we're gonna let that melt, and then we're gonna baste our steaks. All right, just baste, and then turn that heat off, put a lid on it, or you can put it in the oven and cook it to your desired wellness. All right. So now that our lobster tails are done, guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of that garlic herb butter and we're gonna brush it over the top of this, all right? A generous amount, because it's gonna be beautiful once it absorbs into that meat, okay? Next, we're gonna work on our mashed potatoes. So to our drained potatoes, we're gonna take about a quarter cup of heavy cream, and then we're gonna do maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, that garlic herb butter. Then we're gonna season the taste, all right? So we're gonna add in some onion powder, then we're gonna add in some kosher salt, we're gonna add in some garlic salt as well. We're gonna add in some parsley, some black pepper. Just season to your liking, all right? Sometimes you can go overboard with salt on potatoes, but just make sure you're tasting as you go. You don't wanna overpower these potatoes, but you can't really mess this up, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty, you know, straightforward from here. So we're gonna go on with some of those fresh parsley flakes, like I said. Then we're gonna go in with some of this truffle Parmesan black garlic seasoning, all right? This is when she's been extra good to you, and you don't want to just give her all-purpose seasoning. You want to give her something special, all right? Lastly, we're going to hit it with some Parmesan cheese just to creamy it up a little bit, and then we're going to take our potato masher, and we're going to mash our potatoes, all right? Just mash them up real fine, make sure all those ingredients are incorporated, and then we're going to take a spatula and kind of whip them, all right? Just whip them around, make sure they're nice and creamy. This is how I like my potatoes. If y'all like them a little bit more creamier than that, add a little bit more heavy cream, all right? So for our asparagus, guys, we're gonna keep this real simple. All we're gonna do is line us a cookie sheet with some aluminum foil so we don't have to wash dishes. Coat those bad boys in some olive oil and your favorite all-purpose seasoning and some garlic salt, all right? That's all you're gonna need. Take your hands, mix them up real good, and throw them in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes at 375, all right? I like my asparagus to have a little bit of a bite to them. I don't like them all wrinkly and stuff, okay? So once we get those in the oven, we're gonna make our lobster sauce. I'm gonna have to show y'all how I made this in the description because my footage, I don't know what happened to it, but I had one more lobster tail left, so I just made like a nice creamy lobster sauce to go on top of our surf and turf dinner, all right? So there you have it, guys. A beautiful surf and turf dinner for 2, guaranteed to impress whoever you're trying to get to know or keep around, all right? Now, I can't speak for the ladies, but fellas, there's not too many guys out here doing this, all right? So if you want to keep your girlfriend around, you might want to step your game up. But anyways, let's eat.
All right, guys, y'all know the drill. We put in the hard work. Food is done. Time to taste it. Let's get to it. Listen, guys, if he or she does not feel this entree, unless they're vegan or don't like seafood, you shouldn't have been with them in the first place, all right? This recipe, this entree is spot on. It leaves nothing left on the table, all right? Say your pockets aren't, substantial enough to buy steak and lobster. Well, save up, do something spontaneous for once, all right? Just for once. This is not a dish you gotta eat every night, every day. It's just something to do for that special someone, your significant other that you're either trying to attract or trying to keep. But yeah, guys, I highly encourage y'all to try to make this. I know it's a little bit more, challenging than a lot of recipes we do on this channel, but I feel it will be worth it for you, your significant other, or somebody else you're trying to impress to do this, all right? A lot of the times we get reprimanded for not going the extra mile, and it hurts us in the long run, all right? So try this. I'm telling you, whoever you do it for will be greatly appreciative of you, okay? So with that being said, you guys, I appreciate y'all for watching once again. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button to keep track of all the shenanigans that we do, and hit that notification bell, all right? That'll alert you anytime I drop a video, and we drop a lot of videos on this channel, so anytime I drop a video, you're gonna be alerted. We keep this channel broad as possible because that's who I am. All right. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for watching once again. Y'all take care. I'll see y'all next time, and I'm out.